Hi students, let's look at this question here, which is quite a fundamental question. You are told to actually, without using a calculator, find the exact value of each of the following trigo ratio. Let's see how I can do this proficiently. So right off the bat, you should be able to tell that pi over 4 is actually pi over 4 and pi over 3, they are both special angle. So this pi over 4 is actually 45 degrees. Just take note, pi is actually 180 degrees divided by 4, right? Whereas this over here will be 180 degrees divided by 3, which is 60 degrees. Now, whenever you see 45 and 60 degrees, you must be able to tell that both of them comes from two different triangles. So I'll just draw out the triangle. One is the equilateral triangle, so 60 degrees like that. So the reason why we use equilateral triangle is because all the sides are of equal length, and this side here would be 60 degrees, which is actually pi over 3. And this will be pi over 3 as well, right? So these are all 60 degrees. And how do we get, so I'll just put 60 degrees. I know most students would are not very comfortable in dealing with pi, but you need to get used to it, all right? Because as you go to more advanced level, you need to be able to read these angle here in radians. So this case here, this would be 30 degrees, right? So this is 30 degrees. 30 degrees happens to be 180 over, basically you need to multiply with 180 pi over 180, so meaning to say this will be pi over 6 radian, right? So there you go, and this is where you get pi over 3. Whereas for pi over 4, it's actually pretty simple in the sense that we just need a square. So if you draw out a square, you could see clearly that actually what you need is actually just a diagonal cutting across a square, and this, because square would have all equals length, right? And this would be 45 degrees, and this would be 45 degrees. 45 degrees is, like I said just now, which is pi over 4. All right, so how do we find the exact ratio? To find the exact ratio, what you need to do is actually just label the shortest length as a 1 unit, right? So it doesn't matter what unit you use, you should be able to reduce it to the exact form, but the easiest way is to lag the shortest. Out of these 3 sides here, what we have is this is the shortest length. So the shortest length would just be 1, and this would just be 1 as well. Alright, so these are 2 equal lengths. So if these two are, because this is an isosceles triangle, so this length here will be 2. Alright, so to find this height here is not an issue, because we could just use Pythagoras Theorem. 2 square, square root, 2 square minus 1 square, which will yield a root 3. Okay, root 3 over here. Similar with this triangle here, this will be 1 and this will be 1. Shortest length of this right angle triangle. So this will be 1 and 1. So once this is established, we could tell that this is 1 over square plus 1 square, which is root 2. So root 2 would be this length here. Okay, length here. Now there you go. This is fixed. So what we're gonna do next is actually going to just put tangent pi over 3, which is 60 degrees. I'm just using radians, okay? Get yourself familiarized with radian. So root 3 over 1, after which you have sine pi over 3, which is root 3 opposite over hypotenuse. So this is root 3 over 1 actually. So opposite over adjacent would be your tangent. So this is root 3. Root 3 over 2 would be your pi over 3. Is it root 3 over 2? Yes. Root 3 over 2, 4 minus 1 sine over, okay, pi over 3. So cosine pi over 3 would be cosine pi over 3 would be half, right? So this is half. Then after which you have tangent pi over 4, which is actually 1 over root 2, and sine pi over 4. Oh, sorry, tangent will be 1, sorry, pi over, this is 1 over 1, so 1 over 1. Sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. So this is 1, and this will be 1 over root 2. Cosine pi over 4 will also be 1 over root 2. So there are a few ways of doing this. These exact ratios here, so sine, this is the same. These exact ratio here, either you memorize or you just, deduce the right angle by using this triangle here. I would really suggest you take time to actually understand this triangle here, and once you understood this triangle here, then you could actually just memorize the ratio. So for A, if you are told to find sine pi over 4 over cosine pi over 3. So you know sine pi over 4 will be 1 over root 2 over cosine pi over 3 will be half, right? So this case here, what we're going to get is 1 over root 2 times 2 over 1, which is actually 2 over root 2. Rationalize the denominator, we all know this, though this would be root 2. Right, so this is how you do the first part.